All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cantina Cocktail Hour. It's Friday night. It's the beginning of February. We're feeling good. Vibes are flowing. Alcohol's flowing, and I'm sure that my friend Aries here has something flowing on his end too.
Got the spotchka here, right? Come on.
Nice. Aries, welcome to Cantina Cocktail Hour. This is it's a blast to have you on. I'm super stoked that you're here. And I think that everybody that's hanging out with us and that's going to be hanging out with us is going to have a good time hearing from you. So thanks for coming on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Is it possible that I had a rough day and wasn't sure if I could actually come on? Oh my goodness, because I lost power. And I lost power after Brother Cousin's show that I was on last night, Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews. And then it just came on just a little bit ago. And I sent you a message. So here I am. I was supposed to be on my friend Dante. We had a hot collectible show earlier tonight, but I am so grateful to be here, one cantina to another. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm really glad that you're here. And yeah, for sure. I'm glad that we're getting to do this. And everybody who's watching here with us, you can see that my friend is here in my lap. She was adamant on hanging out with us as well. She heard that Aries was going to be here. She's like, hey, I need a front seat to this.
Come on.
So yeah, come on. So she's here. So Aries, you're from Six Scale Cantina. That's the name of the YouTube channel.
Yes, Six Scale Cantina, and we kind of drink a lot of spotchka and spill a lot of coffee, talking about Star Wars and Star Wars hot toys. So yeah, we have a lot of fun, and but that's where I'm from, Six Scale Cantina. So yeah, I guess I should have put it in my name here, but I always just put Aries in there. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Six Scale Cantina, please subscribe to Six Scale Cantina. But yeah, and we had you on the show, and it was an absolute blast to have you on the Market Show a couple weeks ago.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much for inviting me on and talking to some of these awesome folks that were on the panel that I've been watching for some time now, like yourself and Lael and several others. It was just it was cool. It was cool. I was really happy to be there, and great time. And then of course the Aries Terrington show, which I was on last week as well, and that was
That's
also
right.
a blast.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So with the Aries Terrington show, we get to we talk about hot toys and Star Wars, but we talked a little bit about Black Series in there. We talked about Hasbro, we talked about Kenner, we talked about just Star Wars in general. A lot of times on that show, we just talk about life in general. It's kind of like cocktail hour here. We just kind of just roll with it. Market show that we have on Saturdays is a lot of times specific to hot toys. We get into that as well. Of course, I have my live and raw, which is crazy on Mondays. But yeah, it's been crazy with Star Wars lately. Oof.
It has been insane with Star Wars lately, and absolutely subscribe to Aries' channel, Six Scale Cantina. Links are in the description, and you're on Instagram as well. So we have a link for that down there too.
Awesome.
So let's see who is in the chat with us this evening. So my pal Ed is in with us. He says 6 scale, huh? That's a tough sell for me. So Ed is strictly a 3 3/4 inch collector. He doesn't collect anything outside of that scale, which is it's a great scale. I love it still.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
We have Paul in the house. Hey Paul, how's it going? We got Rocket City Sith. Hey, good evening from Alabama. Nice. We have a single songwriter here. Welcome. Hello, collectors.
Cheers.
Cheers. We have Primetime Reviews. Hey there. Thanks for coming in this evening. We have a Cantina Chatter podcast contributor, Jurassic Dave 93 is in the house. Hey Dave. Thanks for being here. I'm sure he's on the East Coast too, so I'm sure he's in some frigid weather as well.
Yeah. It's crazy. Too much ice and snow.
Yeah, I'm here in sunny Southern California. It was 70 degrees today. It's not a cloud in the sky.
Oh, I need to set up the cantina over there. Come on. Oh my goodness.
Satellite location.
Yes.
We have Seth is delirious. Hello, welcome. Mary, good to see you. I'm glad you're able to make it in tonight. We have Philip here with us. So good little crowd that's starting to form here in the cantina. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that
It's great
is
being in
so
another
awesome.
cantina, a different cantina than mine. I'm always used to just serving it up, so letting you serve it all up. But I guess we'll both serve it all up.
For sure. To help me with that, I have a, Mando Mule that I'm sipping on here.
Mmm.
So, Mando Mule, it's basically a Moscow Mule, but I'm calling it a Mando Mule because why not?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite concoctions. So, this one has muddled mint. It then has lime juice. I then put the ice. I then put the Tito's vodka. And then I put the ginger beer in with a fork. It has to be a fork. I stir it gently, delicately.
Ooh. Man, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to serve that up at 6 scale cantina. Of course, with your permission. That's your concoction.
Of course.
But I told you I did
Absolutely.
bring the spotchka, and I do have the off-world Jawa egg juice right here.
Nice. Suga. Very cool. And Dave says it is icy over there. He's confirming that it is icy there. So yeah, I feel for you guys over in the middle of all this cold weather. It's like my mind just cannot comprehend that, like what that must be like at all.
Well, I could say I can handle the snow, and I used to snow because I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Lots of snow in the winter, but ice stops everything. Once you start getting that freezing rain and it's like raining and it's 31, 32 degrees and it covers the roads, unless you got spikes or one of those municipal trucks, you're kind of out of luck. You're kind of SOL.
Yeah, I'm just yeah. Cold weather and me do not mix.
No, no.
Nor does
Mm-mm.
hot weather really though. That's why I'm not in Texas anymore. But that's how it is, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I know that everybody is thinking, they may not be saying it outright, but everybody is thinking about this latest episode of the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh,
I know
come
they are.
on. Come on, Victoria. Come on. I mean, I don't know. For me, I mean, I've been really enjoying the Book of Boba Fett. But the episode from last week completely threw me for a curveball because I kind of anticipated that Din Djarin was going to show up. Pedro Pascal was going to show up in the series. I didn't think they'd have a show that was basically devoted to the Mandalorian, but man, oh man, it absolutely was such a pleasant surprise seeing the heavy infantry Mandalorian, seeing the
Yeah.
armor, seeing some of the stuff, and then this week, to me, for me personally, this was one of the greatest pieces of Star Wars in Star Wars history. Absolutely, I cried twice. No kidding, no kidding. Watching that, I could not believe what Favreau and Filoni threw at me when I saw this on Wednesday. Um, but I am over the moon. I mean, just one of the most epic moments in Star Wars history was Wednesday for me.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better, honestly. I cried too, seeing Luke again. I cried last year or 2020 when he was it 2020? I don't even know anymore. When Luke made his first appearance, classic Return of the Jedi Luke that we all know and
Hmm.
love. But this, like, wow, like I just like really like the emotions were running high that night when I was watching this episode.
Yeah, I mean to see for me, and e- the way that they're putting in fan service, it's not even fan service. It's the way that they're building the Filoni verse, the Favreau verse, the Mando verse, the amount of attention that they're putting into setting up, obviously, what they're going to be doing with the Mandalorian season 3, what they're going to be setting up with the Ahsoka series. I mean, to see 501sts in this episode, are you kidding me? I spilled my coffee which if you follow Six Scale Cantina, you know exactly what I'm talking about, baby, for all you that are out there. But listen, I mean, 501sts out of Grogu's eyes, and you have to wonder exactly what are we going to see in Grogu's eyes in the next episode. So much to digest, but just the fact that we had 501st clone troopers in there. Here's what I heard, Victoria. I don't know what your take is on it, but I keep hearing the rumors that the chapter 7, is the ultimate payoff. And we also heard it from Ming-Na Wen. We also heard it from Tamora Morrison. But I always say, is it possible? But I can't even think that it is possible that you could top what happened this week. So it makes me wonder what we're in store for. Because again, I really just felt this episode, this segment of Star Wars was just one of the most epic cuts in Star Wars history. It's amazing. Everything. There's so much to talk about. And I'm just bringing up those 501st clone troopers, the Jedi Temple. I mean, the rumors are true that they're really going to be diving into that. I cannot wait to find out who took Grogu out of the temple. We're going to find out soon.
Who took Grogu? That is a huge, lingering question. How did he get rescued? The 501st. Yeah, I'll start there. I mean, there's just so much like in this episode. It's like, where do you go? There's so many things that happen, but the 501st, yeah, that was completely out of left field for me. I had no clue that they were going to go to Revenge of the Sith, and give us a different perspective on Order 66 that we hadn't seen before. Now we've seen clones in the prequels, we've seen clones in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, but to see them in live action again after all this time, and it to be the 501st of all clones we could have possibly seen them fighting against Jedi, seeing them coming towards Grogu, who just looks so terrified in that moment. Wow, just unreal.
Well, and you see a comment that Single Saw Writer put in there. He said, if you watch the scene with Grogu and the 501st in slow-mo, yeah, there actually is something in the back that you could see off the reflection in Grogu's eyes. So I do have a theory. Now, sure, it could be a Jedi, that we're not aware of. It can be anyone. It could be a villain. But I have a couple of theories on who it might be. I have two theories, actually. One of them being that Sam Jackson kind of messed up on his Twitter some time ago. He's definitely coming back into Star Wars. If you're going to bring Mace Windu back, which in my opinion, you're bringing all these characters back from the dead, his is the most plausible. Because Darth Maul got cut in half. Don't even talk to me about the Emperor, because he was evaporated by 1 billion degrees going down the Death Star shaft. So I don't know how he survived that. Boba Fett got eaten by a monster. He got his arm cut off and flew out the window. Could have used his other arm. Use the force push. He's already done that before, and other stuff. So it's plausible. If you're gonna bring him back, they've just opened up a door where it would make sense, because what's going on at the same time as when Order 66 is being executed? Right before that is what happened with Mace, Anakin, and the Emperor. He obviously feels betrayed. He obviously was very skeptical about Anakin. If you watch the prequels, he was not hot on Anakin at all. Obviously, he was aware of Grogu, and you have to wonder if it was him. And I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Victoria, but I think if you're going to bring him back, if you're going to, it would be interesting if you see something like that if you see that Grogu has some type of flashback at the end or some point during the chapter 7 next week, and you see some type of purple lightsaber or something where it looks like him, man, I would spill my
Mm,
coffee, baby.
that would be something. Rocket City says, I think R2D2 rescued Grogu.
It could be. They have a very, very strong connection. And wasn't that awesome to see R2? I think that was the most that Din Djarin communicated with a droid. That was this week's episode.
Yeah.
When he communicated with R2. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been.
It could have been. Oh, look, El Profesor is here in the house.
Mario. El Profesoro,
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, we were on together just last night.
Yes.
Fun times.
And here's the other one. The other theory, and I brought this up. I think I brought this up on Brother Cousin's toy reviews show, Jay's show yesterday. I think one thing that we're not considering is we're all thinking that perhaps a good guy took Grogu. I don't know. Here's an offbeat one that I don't think, but they could go this way. Could you imagine if Anakin actually was the one who took Grogu? And the reason I bring that up is he obviously isn't so devoted to the Emperor that he wouldn't kill him like the Emperor wouldn't kill Darth Plagueis the Wise in his sleep. Because he even told Luke, we could destroy the Emperor and we could rule the galaxy as father and son. In a heartbeat, he would betray the Emperor. But you have to wonder, when he was talking about in Revenge of the Sith, my new empire, maybe he was thinking, let me take someone who can be my apprentice. Let me store someone off on the side that I could go to once I eliminate the Emperor. I don't know. It's interesting. And you know what's interesting about that? There is an Obi-Wan series that they have to promote that's going to be coming on in March. I don't know. Just something maybe they could do. Probably not, but you never know.
You never know. Actually, this thought occurred to me too this morning. I was just randomly, as I was getting ready for work, I'm just thinking about the show still, and I'm like, could Anakin have been? I mean, he was there. He was there in the temple.
Mm-hmm. He was,
yeah, totally. Go ahead.
No, I mean it's weird, right? But it's actually when you really start thinking about it, it's kind of plausible. Maybe I don't know where he stored him. I mean, because obviously, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, we know that the Anakin killed the younglings, right? Or at least that's the insinuation. We don't personally see it. Obi-Wan says he saw the recording. So you got to assume that it happened. Mm-hmm. But, everybody has a soft spot for Grogu. They see him and it's like your heart melts. Like, is Anakin just like the rest of us? He's killing younglings perhaps, or he's killing other Jedi, but then he comes upon Grogu and he's like, is this a good idea? Maybe he has that one moment of weakness. He's not fully committed to the Sith yet. He's doing it, as a means to an end to save Padme. Perhaps in this one moment, he makes some sort of an exception, just spur of the moment. He takes Grogu, he sets him somewhere or hands him off to somebody else. And then he comes back, goes to the Emperor and says, okay, I did it. Come take a look. Who knows?
You're onto something there. And I think that has strong validity. If you go back to Revenge of the Sith, once he took care of Viceroy Gunray, there were some tears, I believe, in his eyes as he was looking out that base from Mustafar. So there was some conflict on this sudden change. So you have to wonder, with someone with that much rage, who was executing all these younglings and Jedi, maybe there was for him, as a Sith, a momentary lapse of reason, because he was certainly having some tears up at Mustafar. Certainly the Emperor wouldn't be having any tears. So he wasn't at that dark stage as much yet. So it's a great theory, Victoria, and maybe we're on to something here. We'll have to see. I think it's a great opportunity to bring back Sam Jackson. You don't have to do it this way with that, because he could have just survived. They'll have to explain how he crawled his way into the temple to rescue him, or if he got some help. But certainly for a lot of people that are into athletics and sports, if he could have either got depressed from this, or he could have got so angry with so much adrenaline, he could have dragged his butt to save the chosen one. Maybe he thought Grogu was the chosen one. He certainly didn't think Anakin was for the whole time, in his opinion. Interesting. I don't know.
We'll have to ponder about it. We still have 5 days to think about it, and who knows? You never know. So I'm going to see who else is hanging out with us now in our chat here. So Philip says Filoni and Favreau tell stories just like George. Yeah, it's getting really good. Alex is with us. Jocasta New Save Grogu could be. I have a figure of her somewhere around here. Yeah, if it's not in the archives, doesn't exist. Link 2195 with I love that. So it's an alcoholic beverage, but it looks like Grogu. I'm gonna have to copy that. One for next week. Perhaps. Supersaurus. Hey, Supersaurus, good to see you here. Another 3 3/4 inch collector in the house. Rodri, welcome to the show. Is it too late to make uncanon the sequels? I don't know.
I think you're gonna get some retcon. I don't think they're not gonna retcon it like the way we're thinking of it. I do really believe, that there is 1000% Favreau and Filoni with George Lucas. They're going to retcon some subtleties to the sequels that are going to make more sense. Two of the things that I think that they're going to do is I'd love to see them not have Luke pass and not have that was to me the number one blunder that they did. First number one blunder that they ever did in Star Wars history, in my opinion, Victoria, and I hated it for years. You know how hard it is. Back in the day in 1999, everyone was talking about you cannot replace the greatest villain in cinematic history, which is Darth Vader. And magically, George Lucas came up with Darth Maul, who wasn't trying to be Darth Vader, but it worked. It worked, and he was awesome. And you killed him at the end. And it took me until Revenge of the Sith to finally warm up to Christopher Lee, because you got this really cool Sith in Darth Maul, and then you bring me Saruman, which I was like, come on. Blunder, and that's why that they brought him back in Clone Wars and Rebels. But that was the number one blunder. Second one is, how in the world do you kill Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi? I understand Harrison Ford. He didn't want to do it no more. Fine. Okay, goodbye. It was just, I don't know. I'd love to see them retcon that. I don't understand why Ben died at the end of Skywalker either. I think they're going to retcon some of this stuff. Personally, I hope.
It'll be interesting. I think at the very least, we're not going to see these, or they're not going to really go into that time frame. They're not going to go into those characters. Just my thinking right now. But who knows? And things always in motion is the future. So
yes, but I do like the sequels, by the way. I very much enjoyed them. I very much enjoyed the prequels too. They're one of my favorites. I just couldn't stand that you killed Darth Maul, and I didn't like that Luke is gone. But anyway, such is life.
Such is life. So Dom says, in one of the early drafts of Star Wars, Lucas had a small child hidden in an R2-like droid. Interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Well, listen, they brought Luke back in a big way this week, didn't they? Here's the thing. When I was watching it that morning, Victoria, I was doing the double take. I almost wanted to skip to the credits to see is that Sebastian Stan? What actor did they use? Because it's uncanny how much it looks like Mark Hamill. I wasn't seeing any CGI, and I'm looking at it in regular HD, not 4K or anything like that. Wow, have they come a long way?
Yeah.
That's where, obviously, in this series, besides the train scene in episode 2, which I thought was phenomenal, where they spent a lot of their money, because it was fun. I don't know what you thought of it, Victoria, but I was blown away. I thought I was back in 1983 looking at Mark Hamill. Holy moly, what a job.
It was amazing. It was purely amazing. I thought he looked great in Mando. I know everybody thought he looked a little bit off, and maybe a little bit, but I thought he looked great though. This is like, this takes that and like runs with it to a whole other level that is just, it's unmistakably like Mark Hamill, not just how good it looks, but the mannerisms, the voice, the way he moves around. Like, it was just completely like Luke. Like, it's bewildering to me that that's even possible, but it has me completely excited that that's even a capability that they have. But yeah, tears.
Well, and I heard from a couple of friends, and I didn't verify it, but I'm sure it's true, that Mark Hamill was tweeting or putting messages out that he couldn't even believe the work that they did on how he looked when he watched the episode. And of course, he did the voice, and they synthesized it a bit so that he sounds younger than he did now. But wow, can you imagine if the rumors are true next week? And Harrison Ford shows up and they can do a job like that. I have a theory of one thing that they can do for next week, outside of the Mace thing, outside of Bosk, outside of a couple of things that we're hoping for. But wow, I mean, if they could do that with Harrison Ford, I'm gonna spill my coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna spill everything. That's just, if they do that, and like you say, it looks this good.
Which way is Grogu going to go, Victoria? Tell me. I'm so dying to hear what you think of this.
So this is a tough one. My inclination is that he had that flashback to when he was, a Jedi youngling, and he associates the Jedi with pain. He sees the chainmail. He remembers Mando. He remembers all the good feelings he had with him, how happy he was, and he's drawn to that. I feel like he should choose Mando. That's like kind of like what he would do. But I think there's more here than meets the eye. I think that Luke is going to throw him a curveball, or I think Grogu is going to either choose both or choose neither. And that's going to prompt another reaction from Luke. And it's going to go in a direction we're not even thinking about. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. But no matter what it is, I think that there's going to be a big tie-in into this season finale with all these characters who've been seeing these last couple episodes. That's where I think it's going.
Well, you just sent chills down my spine, Victoria, because I believe that the Force is very, very strong with you and Victoria's Cantina. Because I can certainly see, if we've learned anything about Grogu over the last couple of seasons on The Mandalorian, whether it's the knob or the frog or the eggs, he gets what he wants. So you have to wonder, is it possible that he's going to grab both the armor, mithril, if you will, and the lightsaber? And I say yes. Look, just like I think it's Cal. I'm going to lose my mind. Just let whoever the originator was for the dark saber. I think the legend is that was a Mandalorian and a Force user and a Jedi. So it could come around full circle. It's going to be very, very interesting. I really believe, and I felt this from the beginning, that Mandalorian is going to have visitation rights, but he's still going to get trained by Luke. And then you have to put this together too. Grogu is too dangerous to know that much about the Force and not have any training and just say, okay, I'm going to be a Mandalorian and forget all this, but I'll continue to just grab a frog when I want it, or I'll continue to just do this or choke somebody. There's no way in the world that you could leave him with that kind of Force ability, because as much as I love the Mandalorian, he can't train him in the Force. So to me, and why I think the Force is strong with you. The only plausible explanation that they can go is it's going to be both, which matches the Darksaber anyway. So I don't see any other way that it can go. He was way too good in the Force now to just wing it on his own, because there's no way he's not going to not use it. It's too convenient for him.
Right. Yeah, that's true. He's going to stick both hands up and Force call them both to him and be like, hey, I'm not a Jedi. I'm not a Mandalorian. I'm my own thing. Why can't I have both?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I am. And, here's something interesting. I wanted your take on this, because I'm wondering if Favreau and Filoni are going to go away we're not expecting. Let's say he does what you're thinking there, and he calls for both. That would still give cause for Luke to ride Grogu to Tatooine to see Mando. To maybe tell him I'm choosing both.
Mm-hmm.
Mando's going to need some help. So Luke's going to step into what's going on over there. Yeah. Who's rumored to show up back at Tatooine, which makes complete sense, because the reason Boba Fett's in this mess is because he sought the bounty on Han Solo anyway. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if Luke goes to Tatooine and there's a moment where he sees Han, and there's a moment where they use Billie Lourd to come in and actually be the actress that portrays Carrie Fisher, and they could do some CGI on her, and we get Luke, Han, and Leia, which they should have done in the sequels, which is beyond my capacity that it wasn't done. And I really believe that it's possible that Favreau and Filoni are going to be like, look, we're going to give you the moment that you should have gotten the sequels and the moments you've been waiting for. That would be the most epic moment since the original trilogy if they do that next week. And throw in Lando in there too, please. But what do you think, Victoria? It could lead that way.
It totally could. And yeah, that would be epic beyond the most immense of proportions. That would be, yeah, since the original trilogy, that's what everybody wanted for the sequels. It didn't come to pass, whether you agree with it or not. It didn't happen. For it to happen now, it's possible that it could. They have the technology, obviously, to make it happen. It's just a matter of doing it. Will they do it? I think it'd be incredibly cool. And I think it would blow any episode of any Star Wars show or of any kind out of the water and be very hard to top. But fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't know how they could top what they just did. I really don't, because we saw 5 first. Victoria, what do you think of Cad Bane? I love Timothy Oliphant. They've been setting him up as the Marshal. He's the Marshal in Deadwood, right? He's the Marshal in Justified, right? He's the Marshal now on that town on Tatooine. It's Mos Espa. I forgot. I think that's what it is. I don't know. But
Freedom Town.
Freedom Town.
We changed the name to Freedom Town.
First of all, I don't know what your take is. I'm going to give my opinion, because people have been asking me. Cobb Vanth is dead. There is not a chance, not even a chance, that he's dead. His deputy's dead. Yeah, but believe me, he's fine. He was just grazed, or he had something on himself. He's totally. I have a prediction that I think the Pike Syndicate is going to blow up his town. He's going to have nothing to go with, and he's going. They have to. I really believe that Timothy Oliphant is going to join the cast. He's awesome. I'd love to see it. But I think that's what's going to happen, and he's going to choose to join Boba or Mando. I think he's going to become more of a regular. I hope so. He's incredible.
He becomes like Mando's sidekick or something, like in season 3. Man, he's totally alive. He's totally alive. They attended to him right away. Everybody was like, the Marshal's hurt, get some stims, right? That's, that was one of the health packs you use in the video game, Jedi Fallen Order, the stims to regenerate your health. Mm-hmm. And so those are mentioned, those are name dropped. I was like, ooh, mentioning the stim packs. He's going to be just fine. And, Cad Bane had to make a choice here. He couldn't shoot a million shots at Cobb Vanth when this other guy's about to pull out a gun. One shot, take the other guy out as quickly as you can. So he's the one that ended up with the brunt of the bullet of the laser bolts. So yeah, he's gone, but Cobb's going to be just fine. We're going to see him And hopefully he has some armor, because I think he'll learn that that's kind of useful. He knows it's useful. He had the armor already, but he needs a replacement of some sort.
Do you think they're going to? Do you think he's going to get some? He's going to get some armor. I do.
He's going to get something, yeah.
And how about Cad Bane and the way that all-time Western scene showdown that they set up? What an absolute! You talk about Victoria.
Yeah.
Not just throwing something in. Oh yeah, here's Cad Bane. I'm Dave Filoni. Here you go. You talk about carefully planning this out, and to have a representative of the Pikes, a real representative of the Pike Syndicate, start walking, and it was kind of interesting. It's almost like Cobb Vanth felt it in the air that there was a strong presence. And he was like, all right, let's get inside, get the people inside. He knew something was coming. I was completely mesmerized. I don't know what you thought about it, but I was mesmerized.
That whole scene was perfect. Like, yeah, just, seeing that thing when the sun's beating down, you get that waviness in the desert or anywhere really. And just seeing like the silhouette of him coming down like the alley, and yeah, no, Marshall knew it was going to get real. I think he's been in this scenario before. He's had some experience. And yeah, it was unreal. I know people have been saying, Cad Bane, he makes sense to show up. But I was like,
how?
Are they going to do Cad Bane? Probably not. To see him there and his presence like just came through the screen. And, that's not even to go to like how great he looks. He looked incredible. He looked scary. He looked threatening and menacing and evil. And yeah, it was unreal. My husband, I'll use as an example, not a big Star Wars fan. He watches these shows because I do. And he was taken aback by Cad Bane. He said that's just one of the scariest things I've seen in some time.
Well, yeah, and my wife, who really enjoys the Star Wars with me, I'm the big fan. She's a casual fan, and she enjoys it because I enjoy it, but she enjoys it. She's a huge Timothy Oliphant fan, and she was very intrigued by Cad Bane. They did a very, very, very good job on him. But someone in the chat brought up that he hope he had a lot of water. They do a lot of walking. It seems like on Tatooine. Maybe it's a desert planet, but it's kind of like maybe it's 80 degrees and and no humidity, and I don't know. Man, so are we going to see Bosk? Are we going to see are some of these bounty hunters on the hire with the Pike Syndicate? You think we're going to see some of them? Obviously, when Vader hired some bounty hunters, he hired Bosk, he hired Dengar, he hired IG-88. You think the Pike Syndicate's got them too? They sent Cad Bane, but he's not the only one. What do you think?
Before this last episode, I probably would have said not likely, but at this point, it's like they're all bets are off. Anything can happen in the season finale. If anybody tells me, hey, is it possible this can come out, that this character can appear, the ice cream maker guy can show up and change the course of any battles that might come up. Yeah, anything can happen at this point. So I wouldn't bet against Bosk. I wouldn't bet against IG-88, Zuckuss, or Forlom, any of them. Anything like that is possible.
Yeah, Zuckuss and Forlom, absolutely. Dengar. So I don't know, but people have been asking me though. They're like, but they've been asking me on my channel, send me private messages. Aries, how are they going to wrap this up? I don't know what your thought is on this, but I know I'm curious. I don't think that there's anything to wrap up, because I don't think that they can wrap it up. I think they're going to cliffhang it. It's only one episode. I think that you're going to get more Book of Boba Fett, and they're going to leave you with a cliffhanger. I actually think Favreau and Filoni aren't going to rush this at all. I think it's just going to be, look, this is the end of chapter 7. Wait for
Yeah.
chapter 8. When's chapter 8 coming? Next year. And you can follow the story too with the Mandalorian or whatever they're going to do. I don't think they're going to wrap anything up. And it's very obvious to me that they're doing this like the MCU. I think we're going to have an MCU event, but they're obviously, and look, as much as we love Favreau and Filoni, it's kind of like the MCU. It's kind of like the Arrowverse. They're going to promote. They're going to advertise their other shows that are coming out. Make no mistake about it. That storyline of Ahsoka seeking out Grand Admiral Thrawn and the whole thing with Order 66, that's going to be concurrent storylines that are going to be going on during the whole Mandalore sequence, I think, in Mandalorian season 3. That's just the way that they're showing you what they're going to do. They're going to have separate storylines. They're going to tie different shows in. They're probably going to have an episode of the Mandalorian season 3 where they don't even concentrate on Mandalore. They could be concentrating completely on Ahsoka because they got to build up that series. They're not just going to go, oof, there it is.
Right.
I think this is the way that they're going. I don't know what you think, but I think so.
Yeah. I agree. It's not going to end. There could be some resolution to the current plot, the current situation with the Pike Syndicate, but the story is clearly going to keep going. You know, Fennec Shan, Boba Fett, these characters are going to continue. Their stories are going to continue. They're going to be intermingled with these other series. There could be another season. So I would anticipate not every loose end is going to get wrapped up. They're going to be saving things like they have to do, right, for these things to continue. So it's going to be going for a while. So I'm stoked. Whatever they want to do, you know, I'm just happy that we have this level of content for Star Wars right now, and that, you know, there's all these shows coming that they just announced. Obi-Wan Kenobi for May. I'm stoked.
And I want to talk about that a little. I see that the man of Hot Collectibles is in here, Dante, and hello to you too, my friend. My power just came on. I was able to make this show. I was supposed to be on his show, and I'm just so glad my power's on. And I was just telling my wife, I was like, it's still so chilly in here, and we like crank the heat up, but I think it's because our basement is so chilled that that's just going to take a while to kind of. I was worried about my pipes freezing, but anyway, we're spilling coffee about Star Wars. They don't worry about pipes freezing on Tatooine.
Nah, not at all. So I'm going to see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you brought up the Obi-Wan series, and I feel like that there may be some tie-ins for that series, which is why that they're also bringing up Order 66. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, could very well be. I'm stoked. So let's see what's going on here in the chat. It looks like several other folks have joined in here. Fogman is with us. Good to see you as always. Let's see. So Rodri is with us. Hey, good to have you back. Do you think Hot Toys is going to produce a Cad Bane? Yeah, of course they are.
Come on. Oh my goodness. They're probably, as soon as they're off, you know, it's kind of funny. I heard, and I actually think I heard this from the man of Hot Collectibles, that I thought that possibly that they could take, you know, the Chinese New Year holiday for a month. Now, there's some manufacturers and companies that take it for 2 weeks, some 1 week, some 3 weeks. I guess it's different. But I heard with Hot Toys that there are actually, some of them are getting back in after a few days. And then after a week that they're going to be back at it. So listen, I think that the Cad Bane is coming immediately. I really, really do.
Yeah.
So is Victoria. I don't know what you think about that Cobb Vanth they teased, but that's surprised that's not tonight.
They usually drop their announcements like around like 9 o'clock ish my time, so it's 8:51 right now. So is it possible, Aries, that I don't know.
That'd be great.
It would be great. So this is an interesting point. Plus, if Cad Bane took out the Tuskens, could have been. Fennec did have that line that, you know, she seemed a little hesitant to believe that, you know, that Klatooinian gang could have taken them out. So maybe there was somebody else there we don't know about.
You know what's interesting, Victoria? I don't know what you think about this, but that was a very interesting comment. What if Cad Bane has the woman, the Tusken Raider woman, that was very close to Boba Fett and actually has her captive and demands that Boba Fett relinquish control or he will kill her? Because Boba Fett had some relationship with that female Tusken Raider. Maybe
Mhm.
she's actually went to their side, but I don't think we've seen the last of her. I think we're going to see her next week.
I think so too. We didn't see her body. There was no indication that she was gone. Um, I think there's a good bet. She's still out there somewhere. Yeah, this would be the perfect time to bring her in, and um, maybe she is Cad Bane. No, she's not Cad Bane. She's her own character.
You never know.
You never know. Let's see here. So, single songwriter from the desert, a stranger comes. So, this title was kind of like one of those, like almost like a double entendre, because it's like you see, Cobb Vanth, and then this title appears, and you're like, oh, okay, it's about Cobb Vanth. And then later in the show, Cad Bane makes his appearance, takes out Cobb Vanth, temporarily probably. And then you start thinking about that title again. It's like, no, it wasn't Cobb Vanth. It was Cad Bane, or both. I really like that.
It was brilliant. And especially with all the Luke and the R2 and the Grogu and the Mandalorian. And they put in that title. And yeah, no, I agree with you. They're doing this so cleverly. That's why I think there's a lot of cliffhangers next week.
There will be a lot of tie-ins, I believe. Is Jeans Guy still alive?
Jeans Guy.
Yeah.
What am I missing? I'm missing the Collector. My man, the Collector. I love the Collector.
Yeah, Jeans Guy, season 2 of Mando, the guy that somehow made his way into the episode, and you saw his jeans, and he's like holding something, and you just see him for a split second. Then they edited him out like that same day.
A legend.
Of course, if it makes the internet, it's going to live on in perpetuity. So, yeah,
it's so exciting.
Omega, that'd be interesting. Boba's sister.
Yeah. And who killed Aurra Singh supposedly in the Solo movie? Wasn't it what's his name from Cheers? Beckett. Yeah. But here's the thing: people keep telling me she's dead. I mean, Beckett could be full of crap.
I could see that.
I want to see the evidence. Haven't you watched Law and Order? I want to see the evidence. Where's the forensic evidence that Aurra Singh? Isn't she like almost like a mother figure to Boba Fett? I don't know. I mean, there could be some weird stuff like that. I don't know. I'm real intrigued. Do you think the episode's going to be long? I have a gut feeling it's going to be like an hour 5.
Yeah. It's going to have to be. If they're going to have a resolution to at least some of this story, yeah, there's going to have to be it's going to have to be at least an hour plus.
Yeah. I don't know. I love this series now. I absolutely love it. To me, it makes sense what they've been doing. Because I think if they didn't have it as slow as it was, and didn't build up the whole thing with the Tusken Raiders and the whole thing about what's going on the planet of Tatooine, it would almost make no sense as to why everybody is congregating together for this climax, which is going to leave us on a bunch of cliffhangers. There really would have been no reason to go have an episode 5 with just Mando. And the reason that was there is because, eventually Fennec was going to seek him out. We needed to know what was going on with the Mandalorian. So to me, I think Favreau and Filoni planned this out real well. Now, I know that they received some heat that the first, 3 or 4 episodes were boring. I didn't think so. And I actually go back, Victoria. I don't know what your take was. And when I watch episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Mandalorian season 1, it was nothing like the Mandalorian season 2. It was just, it wasn't and it shouldn't have been as fast paced. They had to kind of build it up. So I feel like for me, it works. I don't know if you think it does.
I'm good with it. When it comes to Star Wars live action, though, honestly, I'm not like really hard to please. And that's not because I don't care about the story or the characters. It's just because, I'm happy to have Star Wars in live action. It was at a point where Lucas was just going to cut the cord, basically. No more live action. He was doing the Clone Wars. That was the future of Star Wars in 2012. Okay. So we might not all love the sequels. We might not all love certain aspects of, these series and the shows, but at least, Star Wars has been reinvigorated with new life. At least it's making a lot of people happy. At least it's made a lot of new fans. And it's in a position where now it can continue for generations more to come. So for me, it's pretty simple. That said, I'm completely digging the Book of Boba Fett. And, the first few episodes, I love some more than others. But as it's progressed, I've, gone back and, I'm digging the whole thing in its entirety. It's Star Wars. It's a fresh take, but it's also familiar. So I think that's when you have the right recipe for Star Wars. Familiar, yet different, bringing in something new. And I'm all here for it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I'm kind of I'm also smiling too because Fabio's razzing me here because I left him voicemails today about complaining about my freaking power. Listen, if I bring the meat back, it's still cold as heck down over here, my friend. It's gonna take a while. I'm in this is my basement, of course, with all these collectibles with a humidifier that is constantly running, baby. Come on. Oh, and Mafia's in the house too, Victoria. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
He just hit
nice.
1K. Congratulations to Anthony.
Congrats. Yeah, it's awesome. So it's a milestone for sure.
And I see that
And
Easy Company Collectibles is in here too. My man Easy.
yeah,
He was hit hard, Victoria. I don't know how you felt. Easy was hit hard when the Hot Toys Wizard took on his likeness. I think he suffered some effects in his real. I mean, did who's here for the wizard yogurt? I mean, did you feel any effects? I mean, I've never been taken. The Hot Toys Wizard's never taken on my likeness. I don't know what it's like, but I heard from a couple of people like Kiko collects. He felt great. So I don't know. I mean,
it's like COVID. You don't know what's going to do to you until you get it. I completely blanked out. I don't even remember that. Like I was watching it during your stream and I'm like, wait, when did this happen? I don't remember that. But maybe it'll explain the tingliness I have in my shoulder these last few days. So it could be that.
Yeah. See, there you go. Maybe the Hot Toys Wizard is going to be taking over the likeness of Favreau and Filoni next week. Come on.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be something. Yeah, we need some drinks. Jawa juice. Jawa juice for sure.
Rick, 2 cantinas here. We got to serve it all up. Here's the Jawa juice right here. Victoria, how stoked are you now for Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen for this series coming out now in May? I'm pumped up. I don't know. Do you think we're going to get a glimpse of that in the after credit scene? Do you think they're going to show something with Darth Vader and Hayden Christensen? Can you imagine? I don't know. They got to show something with the after credit scene. Now that they opened up the door, they did it with Mandalorian season 2, right? I mean, don't you think?
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, we know there's going to be a rematch. Kathleen Kennedy said as much. It's going to be the rematch of the century, I think she said.
So
it's going to be big.
Who do you think wins? Because in A New Hope, obviously they got to have this tie-in. Darth Vader, when he senses Obi-Wan's presence, I sense a presence I haven't felt since, and then he left the room with Moff Tarkin in there.
Yeah, you're so lucky. You're so lucky that happened.
But he said that the last time we met, I was but the learner, and you were the master. So is that a clear indication that Obi-Wan is still the master over him, and he's going to kick his butt?
I think he was referring to Palpatine. Like he's the dark side master now. Like he's overtaken him in his abilities, which may not necessarily be true, but this is Vader. So he's trying to taunt Obi-Wan, Ben. Yeah, I think he's referring to whatever we see in this show. That's what he's referring to. And rematch, I think Vader's going to maybe win.
Really? It's possible. I wonder if there's going to be an interruption in that duel. Um, I think they're going to do. I think I don't know. For some reason, I get the impression because they're saying it's a duel, re-over, redo. It's going to be the greatest thing, and I feel like that they know that. Well, we're just going to be like, who wins? Do you think that there's going to be some type of interruption that we're not expecting in that? Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it could be Grand Admiral Thrawn shows up and
Yeah, in this
grabs
time,
Vader's.
in this era, right? It could be. Could
Didn't
be Thrawn.
Yeah, I think in the Legends anyway. I'm pretty sure that Thrawn and Vader had a little bit of friction, right? I mean, because I think I got to go back and remember, but my daughters are way more up on this than me. But I think that Moff Tarkin is more of a politician. Thrawn is more of a military man,
Mhm.
and he's so cerebral. And I don't think Vader and him gelled all the time. I don't.
No.
I don't know. Maybe that's a way for them to promote Thrawn. I bet you're going to see
Yeah.
Thrawn in this.
Yeah, Thrawn is so different from many of the other Imperials that we've seen. Like Tarkin and is basically on the same page as Vader. Anakin respected him in the Clone Wars, and they worked together. We've seen other admirals, other Imperial officers, and Vader doesn't always get along with them. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he kills them. Just another day on the Death Star. But yeah,
you have failed me for the last time.
For the last time.
Mm.
Yeah. So Aries, I have a question for you.
Please.
How did you feel when you saw Ahsoka Tano standing right there with Luke Skywalker?
I was very, very, very shocked that we actually got Rosario Dawson in this book of Boba Fett. And I was so uplifted, probably is a great to see her there because she just did a bang up job impersonating that character, bringing Ahsoka to life. She has the walk, she has the talk. She obviously studied her likeness. I think Rosario Dawson is awesome. And to see that Luke actually I felt like she was a bit of a mentor to him. Obviously, Anakin was her trainer, but now it's coming around full circle. And she's lending some advice to Luke Skywalker at that point. And honestly, with all of this, the only thing that's going through my head, except great joy, seeing them two together, seeing Ahsoka with Anakin's son, I really feel like the world between worlds, that whole thing with Ezra, I just feel like I feel like there's some retcon that's going to happen. I almost feel like we're in a different timeline. I just really do. I just feel like they're going to go that route. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, well, they're going to do that like MCU. They're going to do that like DC. Look, this is Star Trek has done it. Star Trek has done that as well. And this is science fiction. They've got light speed technology. They've got all kinds. They got technology to clone. They got technology to blow up planets. It's interesting to me that there's not more time travel associated with Star Wars. It wouldn't shock me, put it to you this way. If can you even imagine if there could be multiple timelines or parallel universes in the Star Wars world that would open up a lot. I don't know. But it actually made me think that way, believe it or not. But I mean, just seeing her there, I love Rosario Dawson and the hot toy. I love hot toys.
Do you? I didn't know
that. I can't wait for both of them. I'm dying for the Clone Wars one, which looks so awesome. But I love Rosario Dawson. I'd like her.
Yeah, she's great. Like she's really encapsulating like the essence of Ahsoka, like her movements, her facial expressions, and Yeah, it's really working. It's really working. They made a really great decision, like bringing her into live action and using Rosario Dawson there. Ooh, good question, Boston collectors. I guess we just don't know.
You have to wonder. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, wow. I couldn't believe that Ahsoka was there. And what did you think when Luke said, "Will I see you again?" What was your thoughts? I was actually surprised. I mean, it's he's really leaning on her, I think.
Yeah. I have expected her to say, "What does your heart tell you?"
Yeah, yes. Oh, come on. Come on.
The parallels, man, the parallels.
Oh, the parallels. What does your heart tell you?
It's all connected.
Do you think he's very much dogmatic right now? And he's obviously I think you're right. I think you're onto something with Grogu. I think he's going to choose both. He wants all the eggs. He wants the knob. He wants what he wants.
Mhm.
He's going to want the lightsaber of Yoda.
The
Because
macaroons.
yeah, I know it makes it kind of makes sense, right? Oh, he's going to choose the Mandalorian because Luke's first student was Ben Solo. This is obviously they're laying it right out for you. This is the way it's going to go. I say no. I think Favreau and Filoni know we're thinking that, and they're not going to go that way. That's why I think there's a timeline thing. I think in the opposite timeline, I don't even think Ahsoka's alive. And I think that's why she's alive now. But that's just a theory. We'll see if I'm right.
We'll see.
But I feel like I don't know. It's just so awesome to me. But do you think it's going to be her that gives Luke advice? He's like, he has to change. The Jedi way is this, and to choose the way of the Mandalore is this. And is Ahsoka going to come up with some type of Yoda thing where she's gonna advise Luke, maybe you should think outside of the box because his destiny is unique.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Luke has to recognize that his destiny was unique too. He's the son of Darth Vader, the chosen one. He had an attachment to his friends. He had an attachment to Vader, and that ultimately led to Vader crossing back to the light. I think on some level, Luke has to remember that and know that it's not black and white. It's not just one thing or the other, that there has to be balance. And, I know, we mentioned a little bit about the sequels earlier, but he mentions the balance in The Last Jedi a little bit. Is he thinking at this point that balance means something, that there's another way to achieve it rather than going full non-attachment? I mean, maybe Vader just fell to the dark side because he was denied that attachment.
I mean, yeah, that's real deep there. I mean, there's so many different ways that they could go, and I can see that for sure.
For sure. We got a super chat from Seth.
Seth in the house.
Thank you so much. Super sweet. Thank you, Seth. How do you feel about the rumor that Barris Offee being the one to save Grogu? During the Clone Wars, Barris was best friends with Ahsoka, a disgraced Jedi who betrayed the Order. That is a great question. Yeah, so in the Clone Wars, Aries, you've seen the Clone Wars, right?
Yes, but not as much as I remember season 7 more than anything, and rewatched it recently. But yes, I've watched them all with my daughters or more. They've watched it. When they were watching it, I was kind of like, yep, okay,
nice.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of rewatching it. I just started it over. I haven't watched the whole thing since like 2014, but I just started the whole thing over. So yeah, Barris did some pretty bad stuff in the Clone Wars. She's not Attack of the Clones Barris. She stole Ventress's lightsabers. She kind of went off on her own tangent and started doing some stuff. So we don't really know where she's at. I'm not too caught up with the comics. I don't know if they've taken her story too much in that direction, but assuming that last we saw her in the Clone Wars was the only one that really counts, she could very well be out there, and maybe, she did take Grogu, and Wouldn't it be something to see Ventress again? Not Ventress, to see Barris again. And maybe
Be nice to see Asajj too.
oh
But
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think, well, you never know. They could do anything, but no, I mean, I think that this is plausible, Victoria. The one thing I almost would see this as, I'd love for them to bring Barris Offee in, but I think that she would be like Fennec to Boba, like a sidekick, because I feel like it's such a golden opportunity to give us a wow moment for who took Grogu away. That for us, Barris Offee would be epic, baby. But I think that for a lot of other people that want to know what happened to Grogu, I don't feel like she's a big enough name for the casual fan. I feel like she would be good if she was one of the sidekicks and maybe brought him to someone else. And maybe at that point, Barris was already working with Anakin or something to that effect. I mean, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
But I think it's possible, Seth. I actually don't think it's her, though. I think they're going to use a big name, personally.
I'm still saying Anakin, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to find out what they're going to. And we might not even find out. My theory is, I know we've all been saying Mace is going to show up, this or that. I think we may actually see who it is, or get a glimpse through a flashback that Grogu's going to have in the next episode, possibly.
Yeah, I think we'll see another flashback for sure. I think that, yeah. What's the continuation of that scene? The only way to know is through Grogu, so we'll find out.
Well,
and
yeah, and I feel like right now Boba and Din Djarin are such good buddies, and I love the whole A-Team vibe. I really do. I love that in episode 6, 7, 8 last year. I was like dying, Boba Fett, and he's flying the ship, and Din Djarin's directing everything. I'm like, this is like such good Star Wars. But if Grogu has an attachment to, let's say it's like someone like Mace. Here's an interesting thing that they could do. Maybe he has an attachment to Mace because Mace rescued him. Well, then Din Djarin is going to want to protect Mace. But Boba Fett's going to want to probably kill Mace. Well, right there's a conflict of interest. Suddenly now right there, just tension between the Mando. And Boba Fett's going to be like, I'm going to kill that guy. And Mandalorian's going to be like, that's Grogu's whatever. You're not going to touch him. I don't know. It could. Probably not.
POV, yeah.
But that's tension.
Yeah. That is tension. I mean, they've been cordial so far, Mando and Boba. They're square. If something came between them, though, you're talking about two of the most skilled bounty hunters, warriors in the galaxy. What does that rift look like? What does that tension feel like? And how is it resolved? So I think that's a really good point.
What if Barris actually helped Mace at that point? What if it was Barris that took Grogu under the direction of Mace, and she actually had Mace in a transport? That would be. I mean, what would you all think of that in the chat? I mean, that would be pretty epic. I'd love that.
That would be something. Yeah, that would be something. Easy throwing us a super chat. Thank you, Easy. Want to see Poe, the one.
I want to see Poe. Come on, Easy. I want to see Han. I love Oscar Isaac. I do love Poe Dameron. Is it possible we're still going to get that Poe Dameron Hot Toy figure? And I say yes. But look, I don't want to see Poe next week. I'll wait to see Poe. I want to see Han Solo.
Yeah, that'd be rad. Look at this, Seth with another one. Oh man, thank you, Seth. That's very generous, very sweet. I have one more theory on the matter. The Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels was a temple guard. This is true. He could have saved Grogu before falling to the dark side.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of
that. That could actually be it. I mean, it's going to be. Here's one thing that Favreau and Filoni did. They've got us talking about this. They've got us wondering. And I think what's going to happen next week is they're going to keep us wondering. Because then you're going to want to watch some stuff in the Obi-Wan series, besides just to see Darth Vader and Obi-Wan go at it. Not that you need anything else, but that,
Yeah.
come on. But you're going to want to see the Mandalorian season 3. And I think that they're showing you that it's not just going to be Katie Sackhoff and Pedro Pascal and Sasha Banks. You're going to have some other storylines like Ahsoka that are going to be coming in for sure. Especially if you're right, Victoria. If Grogu goes both directions, and Luke agrees and the Mandalorian agrees, because like I said before earlier in the show, he's way too powerful in the Force to be left untrained. Din Djarin can't train him, and he's going to be too tempted to just throw frogs up in the air and stuff. He's got to have training. Then again, so I think you're right on. He's going to choose both. If he's going to choose both, then Luke's going to be in this. And there's going to be 2 concurrent storylines because Grogu still has to work out the pain in his head from remembering the traumas that he was under. So that's going to be a separate storyline from just Mandalore. So I've called that all along that they're going to go that way. They're showing right now that they're going to do this in series.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He's got it. It's awesome. It's to even know that we can sit here and speculate about Luke Skywalker, the Mandalorian, Grogu, the Jedi Temple, Anakin. I mean, that's just like bewildering. Like a year ago, that wouldn't even been like a thought in my head, but just, it's pretty darn awesome. Manhot Collectibles, thank you for the super chat. Quick question. What's your favorite color? Mine is Gamboge.
My favorite color. My favorite color is Spotchka, baby.
There you go.
Come on.
I'd have to say my favorite color is vodka. So.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Has there ever been a better time, Victoria, to be a Star Wars fan right now?
Not in my lifetime.
No, I mean, I guess the only time you could, I guess for me, the original trilogy. I see. I love all the Star Wars though. I love it all. What about Kira from Solo? Is she going to show up in this?
I hope so. I loved her, and it kills me we still don't have a proper figure of her in the vintage collection, in the Black series, in Hot Toys, because I would pre-order all 3 of those on day 1. And they should have happened yesterday. I really want to see Kira again. I really, 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 partly so I can get those figures. Okay, I'll admit, partly so I can get those figures, but also because I really, really, really love Emilia Clarke, and in this role, I just thought she was great, and I want to see where her story is going. I know the comics are out there doing their thing. I got to see it in live action. I got to see how her story continues, where it's going. So I hope so.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all. I feel like the one that we need to see, if you had to pick any of the bounty hunters, obviously we got Cad Bane. But any of the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, I feel like Bosk satisfies. I hope we see them all, but I just feel like they got to do that. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's the most likely. We've been seeing Trandoshans in this show.
Yeah,
if you look at the
all the time now.
All the time now. If you look at the Trandoshans from the Mandalorian episode 2, season 1, they're the ones that try and steal Grogu away from Mando when he's on Arvilla 7. They didn't look right. They didn't look like Bosk. They didn't look like Bosk. The ones in this series, though, look a lot better. And I would say the same for the Gamorrean guards. They didn't look great in Mando. Even the beginning of Book of Boba Fett, they looked a little weird, but they're getting better and better. So I think maybe they'll gain the confidence to throw Bosk in there, and finally we get him coming into the story.
Yeah, that would be just so awesome. I really feel like I want to see them all, though. I want to see IG-88. I want to see them all standing there, IG-88 and Maybe next to Cad Bane or behind Cad Bane, you got Bosk, you got IG-88, you got Dengar, you got Forlom, as you mentioned, you got Zuckuss. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and what did Han Solo say? I could imagine quite a bit. I guess I hope Han shows up. I want to see that.
That'd be cool. And there's rumors swirling, so.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you think about, what is that? The IMBD, whatever that movie site is, where apparently that they have already given credit to Harrison Ford. Now, I don't, obviously that was an error or a mistake, and maybe that's something I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if it's like Wikipedia where anybody could go in and like edit it. So
I think
maybe
it probably
somebody
is. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Who knows? But yeah, it could be. Doesn't mean the rumor's wrong. Could very well still happen. Six Gun Mafia, thank you for the super chat. I like Sapphire with a hint of roses. How lovely. There is Sapphire gin. Just saying. It's a good gin.
Yeah.
Super Source Rex, thank you for the super chat. Spider legs Mace Windu. So like Darth Maul had, but like now Mace has them. Can you imagine? Like a cut in half Mace Windu with big old horns on his head and big old spider legs chugging along.
I can't. I would need a lot of spotchka before that happens.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'll take Mace either way. Look, I'm dying for a Mace Windu. Can we please get a Mace Windu Hot Toys figure?
Yes.
You know who else I want to see too? You know who I'm missing right now? We saw R2. What if? Okay, I just thought of this now. So if they do this, Victoria, and they bring Luke brings Grogu to Tatooine, and Han is there, and Leia shows up, who do you think maybe Leia's escort's going to be? Come on, C-3PO. And can you imagine him reuniting with R2? I would lose my stuff. Are you kidding me? And then is it possible that that's your 2-pack for Hot Toys that everyone has been vying for? And I say yes. I mean, it's almost like speechless, right? I mean, they could do this last week, because if Leia's going to come, she's probably going to bring 3PO. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It would make perfect sense. Just like she showed up in, The Force Awakens, C-3PO was there. A New Hope, 3PO was there at the beginning. Wherever Leia is, 3PO usually isn't too far away. So I think that's a good point. I think that you bring in Leia, you start bringing in Han, and 3PO is one thing. You got to think about who's the other sidekick that would have to be there too. None other than Chewbacca.
Oh, come on. You have Chrysanthemum in here, Victoria, right? So I feel like that they've already established, the Wookiee presence or whatever they have that with their CGI and all the stuff that they're doing. Yes, if you have Han, you got to have Chewbacca, right? Come on. And someone put into the chat too about BB-8. I wouldn't discount BB-8 because they might. I mean, you've already seen some Snokes in The Mandalorian already, right? You've seen them in a tube or some Snoke-like clones. So maybe they're already working on these BB. Maybe BB-8. I like BB-8 a lot, honestly. You have to, they're going to show him at some point. I don't know about now, but I think he's eventually going to show up in these series in something.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I think that design is one of the coolest things in all of Star Wars. That BB unit design, the rolling ball, it was really cool. I love BB-8.
I agree with you. I mean, do you remember the craze for those Pharaoh BB-8s? I mean, when The Force Awakens came out, BB-8 was the craze, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I still have my Zero BB-8.
Yeah, I have my BB-8 hot toy that comes with the Rey from The Force Awakens. I love that.
It's great. The light with the little blue. I love it. It looks great. I'm looking over at it.
I got it right behind me. On where am I going to go here? Where is it? On this side? Yes, it's like right right there behind Ray and Dio.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely
See,
crazy. I'm like losing it with this Star Wars stuff. I can't wait
I
to see
know.
next week.
Nor I think, I gotta watch this episode again tonight. I got all the feels. It's still fresh in my mind. The feelings, the excitement. It's all there. Super Source says that C-3PO gets the red arm from girl mod gang member. Could be. You never know.
So I got a question for you. I'm interested in your opinion on this because obviously Favreau and Filoni planned this. You
Mhm.
surprised? Not a whole lot of Boba Fett in the last 2 episodes. I don't think that they winged this. I think that they carefully planned it. What do you think the reason
No,
is?
I agree. I know that some people are upset about that, and
Mm,
I can sympathize with that, but they're showing these last two episodes for a purpose. Um, it's all going to converge in the season finale. I think there's a reason that we're seeing Mando, seeing where he's at with the dark saber, where he's at with his clan, um, seeing where he's at with Grogu, seeing him come back to Tatooine, seeing Cobb Vanth come into play, seeing Cad Bane come into play, seeing Luke in the big picture again. I think all of this has a purpose. I don't think they would just do it to be gratuitous. I know some people say that a lot of it is fan servicey, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But I think there's a purpose behind it all. I think they're going to be going somewhere in this last step. It's all going to come down to this last season, this episode, and all these stories are going to converge, and it's going to make sense at that point. So I have faith in the plan that Filoni and Favreau have for this show.
yeah, and I think that they bring a good balance to what Disney wants to do. And make no mistake, I think Disney wants to make money. Okay, but I feel like Favreau and Filoni, they also, I mean, everyone wants to make money, right? But I feel like that
Yeah.
they want to give us good Star Wars. I think that their primary objective is to write and direct and produce fabulous Star Wars that is going to not only please casual and bypassing fans, which you need in order to grow. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. But you
Mm.
also need to take care of the fan base that has supported you through the decades and through these years. And I feel like that they're doing a really fine job. And it's a very difficult job, Victoria, because you never in life can make everybody happy. You know that as a
No.
content creator. I know that as a content creator. Favreau and Filoni are really developing mega content, and they're going to not make everyone happy. And they know that going in. But I think that they're actually bringing balance to the force.
Yeah. Maybe that was the third lesson that we never saw that Luke had for Ray. You're never going to make everybody happy. Don't expect to. Don't even try to because it ain't going to happen. Yeah, good point there. And
Yeah.
thanks to Seth for the super chat here again. Thank you so much. It kills me that we only have 3 to 4 figures for the solo movie. Akira and a Donald Glover Lando would be fantastic. Those are the two. Those are the two right there that for me would go a long way to like being able to just kind of wrap up the solo like hot toys. Like I mean, there's more possibilities, right? You could do Beckett, you could do Val, you could do Rio. Plenty of other options there, but I think if we at least had those two, then I think I'd be content with that. So
Yeah, I very much agree with both you and Seth. I mean, I'm very I brought this up a lot when people ask me these questions. Why aren't these toys out? And why is Hot Toys? Why don't we have Donald Glover? Why don't we have Emilia Clarke? Why don't we have Sam Jackson yet? Why don't we have Natalie Portman yet? And I think that the simple answer is why don't we have Baze Malbus? And they teased that as well, as long as the Padme. I think we have to remember. I think you all know me by now. I am a super nut Star Wars freakazoid. And I can't even review a hot toy because I'm going to give it an 11 out of 1 out of 10. So you're not going to, that's just me. Um, and even I was down during because I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I just didn't enjoy, like I enjoyed the Phantom Menace. I saw it 36 times. Killed me that they killed Maul. Killed me that they killed Luke. But I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I enjoy all Star Wars. But the 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 hate, and I'm using the word hate, was so vociferous online that I couldn't. It was hard for me to get into it. And the interesting thing was when I would talk to people around, my wife, my family, people around the movie theaters, just people casually, they're not into it as much as we are. They love the movies. I mean,
Yeah.
they made $4 billion. They really enjoyed them, but they don't understand some of the things that some of the diehards were, and rightfully so, I think, upset with. From that standpoint, though, it was still, I mean, for everything that I buy and collect, I was kind of almost like on a down, like, okay, what are the Yankees doing? What's going on with the Steelers? I was just kind of like, because I didn't want to hear hate every darn time I went
Mm.
on the internet. And so I think that Hot Toys was feeling that too, because Hasbro, obviously, they took a step back with The Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, they hardly made any figures. You didn't get the 3
Yeah.
or 3/4 figures. Black Series, you got nothing. Hot Toys came out with what? A Kylo and Rey and a Sith Trooper and a couple of jets, and you
That
got
trooper.
nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing because they didn't want to bother with it. And they weren't coming out with anything. And I think that's the only reason why you didn't get 3PO. You didn't get Padme. You didn't be like at that point, who's gonna be buying 20,000 C3POs? Well, while you have all the hatred for the division of Star Wars when you got Endgame and Infinity War going on. And I think
Right.
now I call those the dark times, the black clouds, Victoria. Now
Mhm.
there's blue skies. So I think that all these figures that we're talking about, I think they're going to come out now because Star Wars is hot. Now's the time to come out with them.
Yeah. No, Star Wars is very hot right now, and now would be the opportune moment to cash in on all of these possible sales that are being missed out on by not producing those characters
Mm-hmm.
and in all of these series that we like to collect and talk about and have fun with. Yeah, I'm ready for them. I mean, there's plenty they could do. I mean, there's no shortage, and it's not just, Hot Toys. A lot of people have complained that, hey, in Vintage Collection, there's all these things to catch up on. In Black Series, there's all these things to catch up on. There's a lot of things missing. So yeah, Star Wars is in a good place. It really is. Like you're saying, blue skies. We're in a place where there's lots of possibilities. People seem to be generally happy. Some excessively happy. I would count myself amongst those. And I'm feeling good about it. And I think that, if you look at the sales data, I mean, Hasbro said last year that Star Wars was made them a lot of money. And, a lot of that was thanks to Mando. But that's got to give them more confidence in this line and, producing Star Wars characters across the board, no matter, where they're from. I mean, Star Wars is Star Wars. And it's in a good spot. And I hope the merchandise continues to follow suit.
Yeah, and from what I'm hearing, they can't even keep Grogu merchandise at the Disney parks because I've talked about this on my channel that he is the new Mickey Mouse for Disney in this century. And I think what they're going to do with him is I think you're going to see him. He's going to be a chosen one, and a lot like Yoda. But I don't think you're going to see him all the time. I think you're going to see him sparingly. I think you're going to see a lot of what he's about talked about. I don't think you're going to see him at the hip with the Mando all the time. But I think they're going to. It's kind of like when you go to the Disney parks. You know Mickey Mouse is there. You see him once in a while, but you don't see it every minute. I think that they're going to do the same thing with Grogu, and I think that they made their point across, like letting all the people, the casual fans, and the people that honestly just watched The Mandalorian just for Grogu know he's around.
Mhm.
By the way, if you watch the Ahsoka series, if you watch this series, you may see him as well once or twice.
Yeah.
So I think that they're kind of looping everybody in, but they're certainly tying that little guy around, especially if he's rescued from the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
They have him involved in all the storylines going on. Don't tell me that Thrawn doesn't know about him. I'm sure he does.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. 6 Scale Mafia, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you think Boba will be in the Boba Fett? I say no.
And I say no. He's that's hilarious. I don't know why they've been going that route with him. You know, one of the scenes that I love the most, and I cracked up. I was talking about this with my brother-in-law, Victoria. I think it was in episode 2, and he comes into the mayor's office, and he comes in with Fennec and the guy in chains and his little entourage of guards, and he's like, "I am Boba Fett, and we're here to see the mayor." And they're like, "Boba Fett," and the guy's like, looking on there. And then, then he looks up and he goes, "Do you have an appointment?" Like,
Yeah.
I'm dying. I don't know why they're going that way with him, but they wanted to for a reason. And I think we're going to find out. I honestly think we're going to find out in the next episode why. I think it's going to make sense.
Yeah. And he says that a lot, doesn't he? I am Boba Fett. Like he said it to the droid in, that one episode. Like, I am Boba. Like the droid even like cares or knows. Like, I am Boba Fett. Like he probably looks in the mirror and he's just like, I am Boba Fett. He goes over to the kitchen to grab some cereal in the morning. I am Boba Fett. He goes over to the iron to iron his clothes. Looks at the iron. I am Boba Fett. He says it constantly.
One thing I want to point out to everybody, and I think I know what they're doing. If you ever watch WWF and you ever watch, which is now WWE, there's a certain thing that the old-time superstars do for young stars. It's called job. They're going to job for them. So it's kind of like how The Undertaker jobbed for Brock Lesnar. No one beats The Undertaker. No one beats The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar beats The Undertaker. Is it possible that what they're doing is they're having Boba Fett job for the Mandalorian? Because all everybody's talking about now is how kick butt and amazing and like Superman and like Captain America Mandalorian is. I think he's been jobbing just like in like the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Just like Hulk Hogan I really feel like that's what's going on, but I think they're going to bring it full circle the next episode, because it's great because everybody wants to see the Mandalorian, and this is not the Boba Fett verse. This is the Mando verse, like the Arrow verse. Make no mistake about it, and I think that they've done a great job because everyone wants to see the Mando.
Yeah,
that's my take on it.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. I cannot disagree with that at all. So Seth, again, thank you so much. Promise this will be my last one. Is there any Hot Toys figure that is currently out that either of you just really wish you could get your hands on? Ooh, Aries, I'll let you go first with this one.
Promise this will be... Come on, just keep sending Victoria those super chats, baby. Let's go. Is there any Hot Toys figure that is currently out that either of you just really wish you could get your hands on? Is there any Hot Toys figure that is currently out? Are you kidding me? Listen, I'm still waiting for my 2-pack Boba Fett Deluxe from The Mandalorian Season 2. When am I going to get my shipping note? I ordered that day one. I pre-ordered that baby. My $50 has been in Sideshow's hands for a long time. And I'm waiting for that email that's going to tell me your item is going to be shipping soon. Make sure you have your right payment ready. Yeah, that's the one I want, Seth. Come on. I'm waiting. Who knows how long I'll have to wait. But hopefully, maybe I'll get the notice Monday.
I would have to agree with that. The Hot Toys figure right now, or Hot Toys figures right now, is the 2-pack, those 2 Boba Fett figures. And yeah, I'm in a similar boat. I'm still waiting too. But I'm living vicariously through the other folks who are doing their videos on them and showing them on Instagram, and it'll get here eventually. I'm usually pretty patient, so as long as I get it at some point, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, I've just been looking, and I always preach, patience. I'm having a hard time with patience with that set, but I know that it's coming. And like I said, I chose to pre-order it for various reasons, from Sideshow, and I know I got it secured. I know it's coming. But I'm also waiting for that Clone Wars Ahsoka. There's a couple of figures that I'm surprised we don't have yet, but I think we're going to get an onslaught of them over the next couple of weeks, honestly.
I wouldn't complain. I mean,
Yeah.
my bank account might a little, but
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
ready.
yeah. Well, and that's why, I even though I'm a big Star Wars Hot Toys nut, I don't get all of them, and certainly ones. I'm gonna get the Axe Wolves because it's a main character, even though it doesn't have a head sculpt. But I try and stick with the ones with head sculpts, if possible, because that's why you get
Yeah.
Hot Toys. I think, really. I
Sure.
mean, it's for the head sculpt. So, and it helps me budget.
Got to strategize. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would get all of them if I could. I get a
me
lot
too.
of them. I don't get all of them though. Yeah. Yeah. So, Super Source, thank you so much for the super chat. The last episode, Mando gives Boba Grogu pin. So there is a story behind this. If you know, you know. So Aries, Walmart had this Star Wars The Vintage Collection 3 3/4 inch Mandalorian build-up pack, which was a deluxe version of the mainline figure.
Mm-hmm.
This was late 2020. It came with Grogu. It came with the little Camtono. It came with a removable, interchangeable head for Mando. So he has his human head. He has the helmeted head. And when it went up for pre-order, it was never stated that collectors might receive a little pin, a little Grogu like pin. That's not even a Hasbro product. That somehow ended up in a lot of these pre-orders that went out. Somehow or another, it did show up on their site on that page's listing for unknown reasons, but only for a little while. Enough people saw it that if they placed their order when that was there, they expected to have that pin, but it was never supposed to even be in there because it's not even a Hasbro pin. It's just a pin. And some people received them. They didn't know they were going to get a pin, and they got a pin. Some people expected the pin, did not get the pin. And it was just this really weird, like little thing that, is a little part of the history of Star Wars 3 3/4 inch action figures that this refers to right here.
Well, that is very, very interesting. Indeed. The last episode, Mando gives Boba a Grogu pin. So under that view, that would be pretty incredible then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Fab Seegers, thank you. Good evening, guys. At Darn Wizard, it's
listen, Fabio, you got to light your cigar, baby, because listen, the Hot Toys Wizard, when he takes on your likeness, he obviously, or she obviously, or it obviously understands you, brother. So the fact that you put that up, you lit that, you didn't light it up. You need to light it up, baby. Listen, with all your vitamins and all your, drink your milk like Hulk Hogan and have your vitamins and eat your Cheerios and light the cigar, Fabio.
That was good. That was a good one.
Do you ever see this guy's collection? Did you ever see his collection?
Yeah, pretty. From what I've seen, only on the streams and on YouTube. Yeah, pretty remarkable.
I told him to change his name to Fabio Land, like Disneyland. I mean, he could sell tickets.
Yeah, come in and see the collect. Yeah, that'd be cool. Got to make a living somehow. Yeah. Go see my action figure collection. Super Source, I thank Victoria, your guest in the chat, for enduring my brand of tomfoolery. So, yeah, so tomfoolery, that maybe a reference to Tom, who is another contributor on Cantina Chatter podcast, who is often on this show and often in over his head in drinks. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's in over his head, spilling it all over the place. And you never know what you're going to get with Tom. So I hope we get to see Tom very soon on this show, because it's always a good time when Tom is around.
That's awesome.
For sure. And Mana Hot Collectibles, thank you for the super chat. Fabio can't find a cigar. Oh man,
because he smoked it.
Yeah, he smoked it. That's what happened.
Oh my god, that is just so funny, so funny. I mean, this is so much fun, Victoria. I'm having so much fun. And it's just, I know people have brought up, this is like, the Mandalorian, or it's not the Book of Boba Fett. I just think it's good Star Wars. I don't even care what it was. They could just call this the Star Wars show and just have these episodes like they've been having, and I'm perfectly fine. Just, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. I don't know. Remember how like they had the show Battlestar Galactica? It was just Battlestar Galactica. So whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I don't know. Just Star Wars. It's awesome. I don't know. I'm just having a good time.
Me too. I'm having a great time. Six Gal Mafia, thank you. Oh, Tenor Fabulous. Fabio, thank you once again. Do you guys think the Power Rangers will appear again on the Book of Luke, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian?
I must be alone on this. Now I know Mafia hated that. He's in there. He's probably cracking up and shaking his head. The Power. I like to see the kids. Look, you have to get some of these young folks. Look. I'm getting too old, so they need to get some of the young kids that are interested. They even called Boba Fett. Look at this old guy. Look at this old guy. They called it a couple times. I don't know. I feel like I liked it because I knew from a business perspective what they had to do. I mean, I don't know. I think we're going to see them again. I want to see them again. I really do. I think that they're neat. As long as they give me Ahsoka, as long as they give me Cad Bane. Mm-hmm. If they're going to give me Cad Bane, they could give me all these Power Rangers that they want. So, bring in, bring me Boskin. You can have 6 more of them. I'm good. I need Boskin. I'll trade them.
I'll take it.
And look, that pod race, I agree. It wasn't like the pod race or the Phantom Menace. It was kind of like, the budget. But you could tell where they put their money in this episode, Victoria. Money went into Luke.
Oh,
and that's easily. Fine by me.
Yeah, and going back to those base bikes, the Vespas, whatever. If they just look like any other speeder bike on Tatooine, would they have been memorable? Would we be talking about them? Probably not. The fact that they are the Power Ranger colored, bikes, and they're very vibrant. They look like they came straight from Dex's Diner over on Coruscant. I think they knew what they were getting when they made that decision. So I'm okay with it. I mean, it's different. It's weird. Why not? Mix it up a little bit. So, yeah, this chase is a little slow, but the bikes, they look cool. They look pretty sweet. I would take one if I had the opportunity.
They probably got some marketing data, to be quite honest with you, for people that are watching or buying Grogu merchandise around that age. And maybe one of the things that they're trying to do is when they're watching this to see about Grogu or to see about that, they start seeing people their age, or perhaps that they look up to, if they're like a freshman in high school, or, in junior high, aspiring for kids that are cool, that are 3-4 years older. That's what those kids remind them of. And if they're watching it for Grogu and they see that, because let's be honest, Victoria, I'm just going to look at this from the outside. A 12-year-old kid, he looks at Tamora Morrison and Boba Fett now. It may, I mean, I'm sure it thinks it's cool, but they want to see some younger people in the show. And I think that they may be, I knew that was coming. They have to survive. If you're not growing, you're dying.
If you're not growing, you're dying. If there's one takeaway from tonight, if you're not growing, you're dying. And you can't make everybody happy. Those are the 2 lessons.
Yes.
Nana Collectibles, thanks for the super chat. Really enjoy the show, guys. Hit the like button. Guys, you know what to do. Yes, hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing here. We're having a good time. If you like the episode as well, hit the like button. Show it to us. We really, really, really appreciate that. And 6 Gal Mafia, thank you again as well. Aries with those magic fingers, help Fabio out. Aries, what can you do?
Aries with those magic fingers, help Fabio out. Listen, look, Fabio's, listen, come on. He's got the cigar. He's got the cigars. I know he's got the cigar. I know you got the cigars, baby. Come on. You'll see. When the Hot Toys Wizard takes over his likeness again, he'll have it lit. You'll see. The coffee in one hand, or maybe he'll have, the espresso. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Right on. So, Aries, got another question for you.
Yes.
Thinking of Star Wars hot toys, is there one hot toys that has come out, not a current one, but in the history of the Hot Toy Star Wars brand, that is your current grail that you would like to obtain and add to your collection?
So you're saying you're asking me, Victoria, a hot toy that I don't have?
Yes, a grail that you don't have that you would love to add to your collection.
Oh yeah, there are several. I would say the one that I really, really want is it's actually a 2-pack, and it's Grand Moff Tarkin and the original Darth Vader from A New Hope. So the interesting thing about that is you could get Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but the Darth Vader that comes with the 2-pack with Grand Moff Tarkin is slightly modified. It's very, very, very slightly, but it's slight upgrade. And it's actually a tiny bit more movie accurate than the A New Hope Darth Vader that you can get on its own. So that is a very, very unique Darth Vader that you could only get within that 2-pack. And I would love to get my hands on that Vader and Tarkin 2-pack. So that is a grail that I am currently seeking. Is it possible that in 2022 that Fabio is just going to buy one for me and send it over? And I say yes.
Nice.
Yeah, but I really want that one. I really want that set.
You know, for the last for a while, my grail was Krennic, because you know, director Krennic on Sideshow, he sold out before the pre-order was even fulfilled. Like the pre-order sold out. So I had mine on pre-order already from Pop Culture in Australia, and they canceled my pre-order, and then the panic set in, and then I go to eBay, and then everything is like, the price is like rising and rising. Finally, I came across a good deal. I think it was in September for Krennic, and added him to collection. So I now have a new grail, and it would be the same. One of the same characters you're talking about, Tarkin, is the one that got away, that I absolutely wish that I had gotten at the time, but did not. So kicking myself after, you know, the last several years, but yeah, that's my grail currently. Tarkin.
Yeah. Man, it's such an awesome head sculpt, that the likeness of Peter Cushing. I mean, Hot Toys is so amazing. But yeah, I'd love to, and I want to get that Vader too. I've got the 40th Empire Strikes Back with all the shine and the glory of Empire Strikes Back. I want a Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. From the original trilogy, from Return of the Jedi. Come on, with the head, with the, you know, when it takes the helmet off, you know, with Luke. Yeah, I really want that A New Hope Darth Vader. It's dull. It's original. It's rustic. It's awesome. I need it.
It is. I personally, I prefer the A New Hope look over the other Vader looks. I just love like the more matte look of the helmet. I think that the details stand out a little bit more. I love the, you know, the tabards that go over his shoulder armor. I just love that look, the horizontally striped gloves. Like I've analyzed it. I love these. I love the way that costume looks compared to they're all great, obviously. But for me, like that's my favorite, like Vader look, is his A New Hope look.
Yeah, it's very original. And you know, when Empire Strikes Back, it's like, look, we're a block. We didn't realize it, baby, but we're a blockbuster. And look at my shiny suit now. Come on, it's the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
My
more of a budget. They had more of a budget to work with.
Oh man,
little polish.
Irvin Kershner, come on. Anyway,
so good. Six Mafia, thank you again for the super chat. Aries with those magic fingers, help Fabia out. And Taz Figures, thank you. Mom yelled at me for using her credit card. Oh man.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Who's Taz Figures? Easy. Thank you for the super chat.
You have to wonder.
You gotta wonder. Manahawk Collectibles, thank you again. I think is the guy with no reputation.
Is he talking about you have to wonder.
Yeah. You gotta wonder. And Six Mafia, thank you again. Some other son who's in big trouble. Big trouble. And then, of course, we have Seth back again. Thank you, Seth. Hey, Aries, any chance you'd want a DX07?
Oh, that's the other one. So yes, even if they come out with the Beskar Luke, even if they come out with the Beskar Luke, which they absolutely are going to, and this year, and you've already heard from the Hot Toys Wizard that they're coming out with the Beskar Luke. But you have to wonder, is it possible that the Dark Jedi also will still want the DX07 because those figures are still awesome? And I say yes. I would say that's probably Victoria. After Vader and Tarkin, that's the next one I want. It could be actually pretty equal because I look at that all the time too, just about every week. So yeah, I want the DX07 too. I do want it. It's awesome. It's cool. that Luke Bespin 2-pack that they had from way back in the day. It's just it's nice. It's actually, believe it or not, it's
vintage.
Hard. Yeah, it's like I mean, it's rising in price. It's hard. It's not as high right now as Vader and Tarkin together. They're both high, but Vader and Tarkin's even higher. I mean, Vader and Tarkin's hitting astronomical prices in the secondary market. It's insane. It's close to 900.
It's insane. The prices on some of these lately, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. What was your first Hot Toy Star Wars figure?
Oh gosh, my first Star Wars Hot Toy figure was probably the vintage color Boba Fett, and the ones that got me into it. And I'm sure you could appreciate this from being a Hasbro collector or Black Series collector, vintage, the vintage collection collector. I was very, very intrigued by the 40th anniversary packaging with the vintage color Boba Fett that they announced, and the vintage Empire Strikes Back Deluxe Darth Vader. Now, I've been looking at Hot Toys for years, always like, wow, I gotta get into that. That kind of got me. That kind of got me into it. The fact that they came out, with that, and I know the whole idea is I would never take them out of the package, but obviously, getting into Hot Toys, they're all out of the package there. So it's a different game. I know we've talked about it. You could take Hot Toys out of the package. It does not lose value.
Right. Yeah, that vintage color Fett is great. I have it. I haven't taken it out of the box actually, just because I don't have any room in the to display it. It's like everything's occupied. All the bases are loaded. There's nowhere for that vintage color Fett to go. But it looks great, and yeah, really awesome figure for sure. My first one was New Hope Leia. We had just come out of seeing Rogue One. It's December 2016. My husband's been asking me, what do you want for Christmas, Victoria? And I'm like, I don't know. And then we come out of Rogue One, and just that little cameo of Leia at the end. I'm like, you know what? I know what I want for Christmas. I got to get that Hot Toys Leia. That was my first one. And that one kind of started a chain reaction, sent me down the rabbit hole. And here we are today.
Wow, that's amazing. I have that figure, the New Hope Leia, and I got an amazing deal on that figure. And man, that is such a grail right now within the secondary market. It's awesome. I think it captures her perfectly. Now, of course I love the head sculpt, which they used 3 times for the Bespin Leia, the Hoth Leia, the Endor Leia. But I mean, that A New Hope Leia it looks like it's so good. It's so good.
It's great. I still love it. I'd still say it's one of my top 5, probably top 3, honestly. And sadly, like the day after it came in is when we lost Carrie Fisher.
Wow!
That
What
figure
timing?
has a lot of meaning for me personally.
Yeah, I could imagine so.
Yeah. I ordered hot dogs with Carrie Fisher. I know I told this story in the show a bunch of times. I ordered hot dogs with Carrie Fisher back at Star Wars Celebration 7 in 2007, or Celebration 4 in 2007 in Los Angeles.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a weird story. I was in the cafeteria, in the middle of the panels and everything going on, and I'm in line to order a hot dog in the cafeteria, and there's a lady standing next to me, and she's a little shorter than me, just a couple inches shorter. But, I'm not like looking to see who's next to me or anything. There's a lot of people at these conventions, and she's like, yeah, I'll have one too. And, I don't look, I just keep to myself. I go to the checkout, then I go to the little station where you can dress your hot dog with ketchup and mustard and whatever. She follows me over there, and then I start to see a couple other people like come around her and wearing like black suits, like really tall guys. And I'm like, okay, they must be like employees on their break. They work at the convention center. But then more people start coming, and I start seeing like the camera flashes, and I'm like, what the heck? And I look, and she's standing right there next to me. It's Carrie freaking Fisher.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Unbelievable.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness. You must have spilled your coffee.
I spilled everything.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, so no wonder why that figure, wow, it has a lot of deep meaning to you. Obviously getting it, like you mentioned, you know, at the same timing as when she unfortunately passed away. But with that story, yeah, no, and I love that's another one. I have all the Leias except the Hoth Leia. I got the Endor Leia. I got the 2-pack with Wicket, which is awesome. I've got the Leia Bespin, which is awesome. The Leia A New Hope. I've got the Leia The Last Jedi, which is awesome. I don't got Leia Hoth. I got to get it.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. They're all good. I love the Endor one too. I adore that figure with Wicket. It's just, that set is just everything. And we need to get some more. We need to get some more Leias, guys.
Yeah.
I have the Last Jedi one too. I think it's still a great figure. She, if you have her angled like with certain lighting, like the lighting coming in on top, like it looks just like her. It's just pretty crazy.
I know that they did a good job on that. Yeah, I love those sequel Hot Toy figures. The Lukes, they're all good. I love the crate one, the crate Luke. The Harrison Ford one is money. That's one of the best Hot Toys ever. The one from The Force Awakens is like insanity. All Harrison Ford Hot Toys right now are just insane. They're going up, especially the Stormtrooper Disguise one and the A New Hope one. Force Awakens one's going up. Actually, all the Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and Harrison Ford ones Hot Toys are high demand. But yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's good stuff. And thanks, Fabio. Fabio's mother here. How do I get a refund?
Fabio's mother here. How do I? Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have to see you on the dark side of the moon. I'm not sure.
Right on. Well, hey. Yeah, so Aries, we've been going just on 2 hours now. I can't believe the time has flown by this quickly. It's insane. Insane it's gone by this quick.
I know. I'm having so much fun and had so much fun being on here with you. Look, I mean, it's just a great time to be a Star Wars fan. I think we just chatted Star Wars. I think we're just having fun, like two kids talking about Star Wars. And that's, I think, the magic of Favreau and Filoni. They're not trying to make something happen. It's not just, okay, we have Star Wars. We have to make it epic. It has to be this. It has to be this kind of blockbuster. They're just saying, here you go. This is what we're feeding you. And I'm eating up every last bit of it, and certainly I am drinking up every last drop that Favreau and Filoni are going to give us. It's just a great time. Yeah. We're going to get a lot of content, and I think that once they continue to establish these shows on Disney Plus, I think at that point they're going to have a great foundation to. I think they're going to have the sequels make even more sense with some of the things that they're going to put in. And I think at that point, we're going to get more movies. I'm just so excited. I can't wait for next week, Victoria. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I'm on cloud 9 with the last 2 episodes, and I'm just like all here for it. You know, bring it. Come on, Filoni. Come on, Favreau. Come on, Machete. let's have all the Star
Danny
Wars.
Trejo. I love it.
He's got to come back too in this episode, I think, somehow. So yeah, I'm stoked. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan, like you're saying. Skies are clear, blue, sunny. Come on, give it to us.
Come on. Come on. I'm like so excited. And is it possible we're gonna get a Danny Trejo hot toy figure? I'd be all over that. I would buy it immediately.
Yeah, I cannot wait. And
I flushed him out, and all is good. Great show.
you got to sweat it out. You got to sweat it out.
Yeah, make sure everybody in here, make sure you hit that like button. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks. Some of our friends here have been here since the beginning of the 2 hours. So I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. It's been a great time. It's been a blast. And Aries, any final thoughts you want to share before we go? Where can our viewers here go to look you up on the interwebs?
Yeah, well, thank you so much again for having me, Victoria. Such an honor to be here with you. Looking forward to continue to collaborate with you, one Cantina to another. So really looking forward to that this year. You can find me. I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Terrington, and I serve up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk and Star Wars talk like you're hearing right here with the Aries Terrington Show. And you can follow me at 6 Scale Cantina. So just go to 6 Scale, look up 6 Scale Cantina, or wherever Victoria has it here, and you'll love it. You can also look up 6scalecantina.com. We have, if you're interested in any of the Star Wars hot toys, I have all the secondary market prices that are listed in there, all the current values of everything that's within the market for Star Wars hot toys right now. Also, the biggest movers on which figures are trending up and which figures are trending down. And so you can check that out with the biggest mover section, of course, the market value chart, and all breaking news for Star Wars hot toys you could find at 6scalecantina.com. But again, thank you for having me, Victoria. I will be having my show tomorrow night. It's the Market Show Live. I have it every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So you could check me out live tomorrow. You've been on that show. Looking forward to having you on again as well. So tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Check me out.
Awesome. No, it's been a pleasure having you here, Aries. And one of the things I love about your channel and your content is just the positivity that you inject into every video that you put out there. It's you got a great charismatic personality that really shines through in all these videos, and it's awesome. And you're very inclusive and welcoming, and I had a blast on your shows that I've been on, and I can't wait to do it again. And just huge thanks for all the content you put out there, and for all the hard work you put into your content. It's awesome, and links are in the description. Hit up Aries on Instagram. Subscribe here on YouTube. And Aries, thanks again so much. May the force be with you. This is the way. And have a great night.
May the force be with you. Absolutely. This is the way.
This is the way. And thanks to everybody who has been hanging out with us. Thanks to everybody in the chat for making it lively and memorable. We really appreciate you as well. Hit the like button, subscribe to the VC channel if you're not already. You can hit me up on Instagram at Victoria's Cantina, on Twitter at Vic's Cantina. Hope to see you guys next week here on Cantina Cocktail Hour. Be safe, be well. We'll see you then.
Stay thirsty.